Good morning, Mark. Thank you for taking some time out and getting involved in our business owner spotlight. Would you like to go ahead, introduce yourself, and tell us a bit about your business?
Yeah, sure. Morning, Scott. Thanks for having me on. Um, so basically, I'm managing director of a company called Skinovation Enterprises Limited. Our main primary, I guess, revenue stream is with a company called Danae Montague King, DMK, and that's a paramedical skincare brand that we import and distribute throughout Northern Ireland. We have 60 clinics in the network at the moment. We provide full training, ongoing support and education to those clinics, as well as supplying them with the products. We've recently diversified, and what we want to do is in 2025 we're going to launch an academy as well, so we can welcome in students with no background in the industry, and we're going to provide full training so that they can go into the industry with all the qualifications they need. And we'll also provide the full training for DMK for them as well. And ultimately, the goal with that is that we provide a pathway to employment. So we'll put them in touch with our network of clinics, hopefully get them placement there during their courses, and with the goal of full-time employment at the end of it.
Awesome. So just not only sell more of your product, but also getting people in the jobs then.
Yeah, well, education's a big part of DMK as a skincare line. Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to sell products, but ultimately, if you know all about the brand and you're consistently improving and getting better, increasing your knowledge, you're going to do better with the brand. So we're now extending that into the industry itself and not just DMK. So
Awesome. And what is it that sets DMK or your business apart from its competitors? And what's your USP?
Well, we have a signature treatment, which is enzyme therapy, and it's unrivaled. There's not compete with that because we restore skin back to optimal health. So after about 3 or 4 treatments, you will reach sort of a balance within your skin, and that's due to the enzyme therapy. So yeah, we're unique in that sense. But as I said, other brands don't offer the same training and support that we do, and we don't charge for the ongoing training and support either. So really we want you to be the best version of yourself that you can be. And it extends beyond just the actual treatments and products themselves. We provide training support, or sorry, business support as well. And our new business development manager, Fiona, is fantastic. She's working at the moment closely with the clinics for business strategy and trying to help them sort of develop a plan for 2025.
Brilliant. And I mean, your passion for it just comes across. And what is it that who would be the ideal customer? Who would be the best person to use your products that you sell?
Well, for us, we don't necessarily direct our attentions toward the end user. We do provide
Yeah.
information on our socials for that, but our ideal client is somebody, a professional within the industry, somebody that has their own clinic. Ideally, the direction that we're looking to go next year is with nurse-led and doctor-led clinics. DMK primarily was for pre and post operatives, so that's why it was developed. It was to restore the skin back to optimal function before surgery, and then
Yeah.
to help with the recovery process after surgery as well. So, we've sort of diversified a bit in the sense that we've brought on estheticians, if you like, skin therapists, and got away from the doctor-led clinics. But that's somewhere we definitely want to get back to. So next year that'll be a focus.
Yeah, get back to your core. Awesome. And it sounds like it's such a great product. You're doing great work with it. What would you say? You guys are not new to business, been going a while now. What would you say? What was it that took you into this business in the first place, Mark?
Well, it's definitely not where I was telling any of my business teachers in school where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
I guess it was my wife. We went traveling back in 2011, 2012 in Australia. Our plan was to travel all over Australia, but we landed in Melbourne first. We both got interviews in our first week, and we ultimately got those jobs and ended up staying there the full time. But my wife was manager of a skin clinic over there, and that's where we got introduced to DMK as a brand. So whenever we moved home, we really wanted to continue with that. She loved the products, loved the results that she was achieving with her clients, and we wanted to we wanted to stock that in our clinic here. So we sourced the supplier. There was one in the south. They only had one clinic in the north with my wife being on board, and that was in 2014. And that went on for 4 years with Jenna as the only the only clinic in the north. So we seen the opportunity there for development in the north. We put a proposal in, and fortunate enough to have got the territory. So
Awesome. And what would you say then? So how long have you guys actually been in business for?
we've been in the industry from 2018 as educators in DMK. As I say, we've changed the sort of the setup of the business recently, and that's because we do want to sort of move towards the academy as well, and have sort of multiple revenue streams under the umbrella. So yeah, that we've incorporated the new company in June of last year, June 23.
And so since 2018, since you've been like a business owner when you moved back, what would you say has been the biggest learning you've had as a business owner?
Um, you have to be resilient. I mean, without that, you're stuck at the first hurdle
A
because
roller coaster, isn't it?
multiple challenges along the way, things that you'd never foresee. So if you don't have a good strong backbone and you're not thick-skinned, you'll not get too far. But it's just about riding it out and coming out the other side, learning from mistakes.
And what would you put your resilience down to? Like, is it your vision or determination, or what? Where do you get your resilience from?
Personally, I think it's just a desire to succeed. I've started this, I've put my all into it, and I want to see it through, and ultimately just make it a success. The last thing I want to do is for it to be a failure, and I think that's just my driving force.
Yeah. And what about then? So that's you as a business owner. Is there anything you've learned about yourself personally?
I'm glad my wife's not here in this interview because, yeah, I can be quite selfish in decision making. That's something that I've really worked on, and I think we've done really well in recent years as a team and making decisions together. So, I do a lot more delegating now, as opposed to sort of, yeah, I would have been quite selfish before, I guess, and think that my way was the best way.
But I mean, that's massive growth, and that's not an easy thing to learn. But what's been the impact then of changing how you make those decisions and delegating more?
Well, it's understanding that the people that you've employed them for a reason. Like we have an educator who's fantastic. She knows DMK inside out. She connects really well with the clinic. So if I was to ignore her point of view on certain aspects for that side of the business, it would be selfish of me and naive. Be silly really. Likewise for a business development manager, she's come on board recently, and she's got a lot of experience in business. She's developed a successful business herself. She's worked for a massive multi-million pound company prior to us. So I can't ignore the knowledge and background that she has. So it's just understanding that these people are here, and they've come from different backgrounds, and they have more experience in certain aspects than what I would have. So
And just having the courage then to get out of their way and let them
that's it,
work
yeah.
for
And
them.
then trust that they have the best interests of the business at heart, and they're going to do right best.
Yeah. And what was it like then when you employed your first team member? Because that can be a big stumbling block for a new business or a relatively new business to actually take somebody on and the pressures that that brings.
100%. The hardest thing is just letting go of the reins, I guess. You've been out there and you've been in the field all day, every day, building it up, and then someone else has come on board, and it's sort of passing the torch a little bit. It's a strange feeling, and it took a little bit of time to get used to, but once you do that, it just frees you up to work on the business rather than in the business. And from that's happened, we've just seen exponential growth. So
So that's it. So just by getting more people in and getting out of their way, you've seen massive growth then.
100%. I mean, it's too hard to come up with any sort of business strategy whenever you're there every day in the field, and there's enough to do as a business owner without being an operative within the business as well. So
And it sounds like you're on a massive leadership journey there. Who do you look up to as leaders? And like, is it the sporting world or the business world? Is there anybody you admire in that space?
well, I'm a huge sports fan, so I mean, there's loads of people that I've admired throughout the years. Like, I'm actually a Liverpool fan, but I thought Alex Ferguson was just incredible. What a guy to do what he done with United
Yeah.
when he took over, turned them into what they were. They were an absolute animal, world beaters. So I do admire what he's done. Roy Keane as a captain and a leader in midfield for United, but um, I can't look past Stevie G as an inspiration either. So they're all sporting related. I struggle really to sort of come up with anybody that I think has been like a standout inspiration for me. As I said, I'm sort of self-motivated in that sense, that it's my own passion to succeed that drives me on. But yeah, there's definitely some people that I looked up to for their leadership.
Yeah, and you're bringing yeah, I love bringing sport to business. I mean, the parallels are huge, and it's
Yeah.
that high performance aspect, and nobody does it better than professional athletes.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're in great shape with the business. What does the next 5 years look like for you guys, and what do you see the challenges moving forward?
Yeah, well, we envision DMK in particular sort of being the leader in advanced skin revision. That we want to be the first name off everybody's tongue whenever they think of somebody with a skin concern. So, if you know someone that's suffering with something, the first thing we want you to think of is, oh, you need to go and see DMK. And ultimately, what we want to do is increase our network of clinics from, we're about 60 at the moment. We'd love to get up to around 100 and bring on more staff members to support that growth. And then with the academy as well that we're launching next year, I mean, we're hugely excited about that. We would love that to expand and grow, welcome more students, get more people into the industry fully qualified, and at the end of the day, we're growing the DMK network as well, so that's massive for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's that sort of law of procession where you're helping other people along your journey of, you're bringing people into employment and helping people, as you say, with skin concerns. So it's just, it's the better you do, the better all those people do.
Yeah, well, we think it's a fantastic initiative, bringing people. We know that our clinics at the moment are struggling with staffing. We hear it all the time. They just can't get good quality staff members. So we thought, how can we help with that? And one of the plans that we come up with the team was the academy, to bring people on board. We can provide training, certify them in the industry. We can also give them full DMK training, so they go straight into placement with our clinics and with ourselves here at our training centre. And at the end of the day, when they get their qualifications or certificates, they're ready to go straight into employment. And I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to place them into employment with relative
It's a
ease.
brilliant attitude to solving a big problem, and it just sort of grows that whole ecosystem that you're trying to build as well. I always like to ask this question and some great answers from it. So just to finish up, Mark, if you were able to go back in time and speak to an 18-year-old Mark, what would be the piece of advice you would give him?
Uh, an 18-year-old Mark needs a good heavy hand, but for me, when you're that age, money management, future planning, it's not something that's at the forefront of your priorities. And I think it's a shame that it's not something that schools are providing. I think we should be at least provided with some sort of foundation in in money management or investment or future planning. You leave school and you're sort of green, you want to get out there and earn money, but you waste that money. So I think for me, if I was speaking to an 18-year-old Mark, I would say to get yourself, open up a stocks and shares ISA, start investing some money and let the compound interest build up over the years. So whenever you do reach your 40s, you've got something there. So
Yeah, a brilliant piece of advice. I wish I'd been given that piece of advice
yeah,
20 some odd years ago as well. So
whether I was a listener or not at the time, that's another thing. But
yes, well, that's another thing entirely. Yeah. Listen, mate, thank you for getting involved. Some brilliant lessons in there. Can't wait to share with everybody. And honestly, exciting to see a local business with such ambitious plans for 2025 and beyond. So I'll look forward to watching your journey. But again, thanks for getting involved today.
thanks for having me on.